What's up, bargain hunters? Today we're gonna do something totally different. I got a special treat for you. You guys know we do Storage Wars. We've been doing it for 10 years. The couple behind me, Dan and Laura Dotson, we had them on the channel. We showed different stuff, guys. G-rated. So we're actually gonna do a Q&A. Some of these questions you might have heard before. We never had it on this channel. But we're just gonna talk to them about Storage Wars, the auction business, about them, storageauctions.net, which you'll find out later about that company, and have a good time. So let's get to it. All right, guys. So anyway, I'm sure 99% of our audience knows who you guys are, but just for the few newbies, will you introduce yourself?
We're Dan and Laura Dotson with
Storage Wars
and AmericanAuctioneers.com and StorageAuctions.net. That's my plug.
Awesome. And then you guys been on the show for how long now?
Gosh, 13 years.
13 years, Storage Wars.
believe it?
We just finished episode
338.
330. That's why we're here today.
Okay.
And so we're here with your fans, Renee, and we're
Yes.
proud that you're doing this. You've got a bunch of questions you wanted to ask us, and we're here wanting to answer those questions.
Awesome. Yeah, we just want to take the opportunity. A lot of people always ask questions, so now, like, don't excuse the phrase, but the old saying, we're going to go straight to the horse's mouth.
Okay.
So we're just going to ask you questions about you, about the business, about the show. So you guys were real auctioneers before Storage Wars, right?
Yes.
We still are.
Okay.
And we're still real auctioneers, but yeah, that's what we
Just
do.
not as exciting or as fun, but now we're in everybody's home and
Don't
we're
listen to
enjoying
her.
it.
We've always been exciting and fun. That's why we're on TV now.
All right, and then tell us, American Auctioneer, so that's a Southern California auction company. How long have you been in business?
Auctioneer extraordinaire right here. How long has it been?
Since 1983,
Yeah.
Wow.
we started American Auctioneers, and we do auctions in California and on the West Coast, and we also go within the United States and do moving and storage sales.
Live and online.
We're nationwide, baby.
Yeah.
And then has it always been Pay the Lady, Laura, or was it kind of like a TV show thing?
He used to say, go see the blonde. And I go, pay the lady. And then when we're on television, all of a sudden I'm saying, pay the lady, pay the lady. And now they require me to say it every time on the show. And I love it because, the lady always wants to get paid.
Sometimes, people forget to pay. So after the auction, if it's like a long auction, they forget to pay. And so they always have to pay the lady. And I used to say, don't forget to pay the blonde. And Laura one day
No,
says,
he wouldn't say that. He'd go see the blonde, go see the blonde. And I go, folks, don't forget to pay the lady. And I get frustrated because I felt like it was,
You wanted to be more classy.
yes.
Makes sense.
anything we can do to class it up, we do.
Thank you.
So we're gonna mix it up about the business, the show, and stuff like this. One of the big questions, if you Google Storage Wars and see some of the articles, you guys sold a dead body?
Yeah.
We've probably sold more than one, but
Yeah.
we know of one.
Yes.
You want to give us a quick 1-minute version of that?
Sure. I had sold this lady named Maria a vehicle, and I finally had her paperwork, and I called her the night before this auction. I said, Maria, I've got your paperwork to your little Honda. Meet me at this auction over in Upland, California. And she showed up, and I was trying to sell this 5x5 unit.
First time she
for
ever
20
bought a
bucks.
unit.
Everybody else didn't want to buy it. She come up, she looked, and she goes, I'll go 20. So she bought it for $20.
Yep.
The next day, she brought her son down to clear out the unit, and the manager had received a phone call from the person that lost it, the lady, claiming that she wanted to get a box out of the back. So when the manager opened up the unit
What
for
was
Maria,
in it was a 2x2x4 box and a sofa. And that's what was in the unit.
so when the manager opened it up, there was a box in the back, and there was a letter that somebody had jumped the fence, this lady, and put under the door. And she basically said, whoever is concerned, I would like to buy my personal box back. So they knew this box was full of bearer bonds or jewelry. So they pulled it out. Her 18-year-old son was trying to get past the tape, and he took his knife and sliced it, put his arm in there, and I guess this gentleman had been mixed with potting soil and lime for about a year, and he had turned
3
into
years.
he had
Been in there
turned
for
into
3
soup,
years. Yeah.
and so he pulled his arm out. They took their clothes off. The police confiscated their truck and their shoes, and about midnight they let him go. And I can tell you one thing: if you ever sell somebody a dead body, you never get them back to another auction. Maria, I'm so sorry.
So
I did
sorry.
that to you.
Oh, wow. So just wondering, so when that happens at Turner Police, so did you guys have like police and DEA or FBI
Yes.
come and stuff?
And
or?
an article came out later and said,
I love you too. Laura's like, yes. Dan is like, no, never heard
No,
anything.
they never called us about anything.
Let me
I
tell
never
you,
heard anything from
there was a-
police. I never heard anything from
I did.
anybody. What'd you
Okay,
hear?
so Susie from the storage facility then called us and said,
All right.
boy, they really detained us for a while here. And the mother of the person that had been killed and put inside the unit said, I knew that my son hadn't just disappeared, and I knew that he hadn't just left his family, and something really diabolical must have happened. And sure enough, when they found him, in the unit, the girlfriend and the boyfriend gets arrested, and then a story came out in the magazine later on and said, American Auctioneers help solve a murder mystery. So,
that's
So
awesome.
we do that. Every once in a while we'll help solve a mystery.
Yes.
And it's not the first time we've, solved
Solved a
mystery.
mystery.
We do that. So
Yes,
anyway, yeah,
with
we did
money.
that once.
Bodies.
Awesome.
What's the next question?
What's the next question? Okay, Dad, is enough about that. So, you know what? Since we're in the mood, let's follow up with another shock question. And this is a question I get a lot, and, we had it on our social media, and people always want to comment on it. And also, that story just keeps on rehashing every 6 months. The $7.1 million that you guys sold in a safe.
It was $7.5 million.
$7.5 million. So most people say right away, fake story.
Right.
Now, right here for the record from the horse's
Yeah.
mouth, is that a fake story? Is it true?
Yeah, I think it's a true story.
Yeah.
It came to me as a true story. The IRS investigators had me hemmed up, and
They
And I-
wanted it to be fake. And Dad
they
said,
came to me and
yeah.
they said, "Just tell us
Just
this
tell
is
us it's
fake." And
fake.
I said, "I don't think I can. I think
Yeah.
that it's real." And
Here's the photographs
then I told the IRS, I said, "I wish I had just done an airdrop on these photos." And they said, "How come?" And I said, "Because
He would have deleted them.
I would have just deleted them and I wouldn't even know who this person was." And they freaked out on me and they said, "Where's your phone?" I said, "It's at home." I said, "Is this where you arrest me
Arrest me.
or put me into bankruptcy?" And they said, "We don't do that." And okay.
We thought maybe they were looking for a crime and to find, like, here's the...
That's not true though. They were chasing
know?
the money.
Yeah. They were
That's
chasing
what
money.
they said.
Yeah.
Chasing
And that
money.
makes sense. I mean, that's what they usually
Yeah.
want. And then, so the way the story went, they found $7.5 million.
Yeah.
But it was dirty money, and the dirty people contacted
I don't
them.
know that it was dirty, but an attorney stepped out
Yeah.
and told them that he represented the people that lost it, and they were willing to pay $600,000 for everything back. They already knew they had $7.5 million, and so they said,
No.
we want double that."
Double
So they
that.
settled for $1.2 million. They gave back $6.3 million to the people that lost it, and I don't know if I would have done that. A lot of money. I might have just
It might have
changed my
been.
name and
They might have been afraid.
changed
and
my
felt
name
like,
to something special and
gotta do it.
put a wig on Paid Lady Laura, and we might have just,
I'd have been
spend
paid.
that $7.5 million
You know.
the right way. You'd see me off in Latin America like a king somewhere. Probably have my own island right now.
Well, let me ask you a question. That's not a big follow-up question. If I have $7.5 million, why would I give it back and just keep 1.2?
I don't know. I
So
don't
it
know.
must have
And
been
that's what
something.
that's where the speculation comes in. Maybe you're dealing with connected money or cartel
Yeah.
money, or
Maybe. I mean, if
Cartel.
somebody came to me and
Yeah.
they presented it the right way, I'd probably gladly give them all that money back.
Really?
I would too.
Probably. Yeah, if I thought they were going to come and slaughter my kids
Oh,
and
sure.
take my wife and
Okay.
kill all my animals
Well, thank
and
you,
burn
babe.
my house down and do all that kind of crazy shit to me, I'd probably give them that money back and
Thank
take
you,
1.2 and just call it a day.
Oh, you would take 1.2. And then we can go play.
I honestly, I would do the same thing. People tell me all the time, and I'm like, I think there's certain things in life you just don't mess, and
Yeah.
not all money is good money,
That's
That's
right.
right.
That's right.
And
That's
$7.5
right.
million is a lot of money, but if you don't have it, if you're not around to spend it, then
Yeah.
what good is that?
Looking
and
over
if
your
you're having to
shoulder.
look over your shoulder every day,
Oh.
that's not good either.
No.
So I don't know. Some people would probably take all the money and run like hell. Other people would probably take the 1.2 and be happy, and other people would act like, "What are you talking about? I'm drunk. I don't know anything."
That's funny. And then also a few years ago, you guys started a new venture after the show and with the technology change and online auction stuff called storageauctions.net. Do you want to tell us about that?
Thank you. We have a nationwide online storage auction platform called storageauctions.net, the only one on the network. And Laura and I have been working that site since 2015, and we've got about 325,000 subscribers nationwide. So whatever your city you're in, go ahead and subscribe for free updates whenever new auctions are listed. And whenever you're ready to place a bid, you'll have to register as a buyer. We make 10% from the buyer on the winning bid, and that's what we charge.
Lately, it's been picking up. People are, wanting to buy online and wanting to get to those auctions.
We have auctions all over the United States, and that was, kind of fun because I've always imagined having auctions all over the United States. So now I can look at my little app and I can see all these auctions around the United
Because you
States.
can't be everywhere at
Makes me
once.
proud.
Nice. And that's what I was wondering. So, a lot of people face industry changes, and you guys are kind of going from, almost saying like a blue collar job because you have to be at the location. It's your knowledge, to now you could be kind of becoming a technology company where you
Oh, wow.
cover the entire United States and make money maybe in 10 different states at the same time.
I'm making money right now.
I like where you're going with that.
Yeah, so like mentally, like sometimes, like, you know, as our business grew and the things that we do, you know, we're doing less storage, less hands-on sometimes because I'm doing different things, like these YouTube videos and other things. Was it hard for you guys to change, or was that an exciting progress? It's more like for business-minded people
It
question.
was very scary. We have a lot of live auctioneers, and a big fear of mine was putting them out of business, and I like to keep my auctioneers busy. So we have a thriving live auction company, but this online stuff is great. There's only about 6 or 7 platforms that are out there doing it. We're one of them.
Now we can be in every state. We don't have to be there, you know, in person. And when the economy kind of went a little cuckoo, the online really picked up. So we've been having fun with it, getting lots of subscribers and.
That's awesome. So another question, a little bit more dark period in you guys' life. And, you know, I don't believe when people sometimes say, so you had an aneurysm, you almost died a few years ago.
Yeah.
A lot of people online were like, that's just fake for television ratings. And so
Yeah.
what do you have to say to that, Dan?
Well,
Did
I
you
don't
fake
know.
an aneurysm?
I didn't. You know, I had a headache for a couple of weeks, and
And a neck ache.
and I had a neck ache, and that just turned into a double aneurysm, and I had about a 4% chance to live.
Yeah.
Lauren and our son Garrett saved me. They gave me CPR. They kept oxygenating my brain, and they took care of me. Took me down to Desert Regional, and some very good surgeons down there took care of me and saved my
lucky.
life. So I'm very happy to be alive, and I'm very humble to be alive.
And he doesn't have any deficits, so that's wonderful. He came right out of literally on the operating table, and they told me, come in here. I was scared to death, and he had his hands in the air and he was going, well, 100, what do we now do? $200, what he's
I was
using his
auctioneer.
fingers.
It's fresh out of
Straight
surgery.
out of surgery.
That's
And
crazy.
Laura thought it was crazy, and she asked the doctor, "Is this normal?"
Because his hands
And
were in the air. I go, is this normal? I go, we're going to have to have surgery to get his hands down. And they go, no, listen. And I was like, he's auctioneering.
They were super happy.
Yeah.
So subconsciously you were running an auction?
So, yeah, I was running an auction.
Let me ask you a question, because this is really important, and I want you to think about it. Was it a good unit, and did I win?
It was probably a great unit, and I'm not sure if you won it. How's that?
I don't know. Couldn't be that good if I don't win it.
No, it's probably a great unit, and you probably won it. You know, you win a lot of my great units when you're there.
Yeah,
You're
that's-
not always there, but when you are there, and there's a good one, Renee. You
Yeah.
are the guy that buys the best units.
Yeah, not only are you
Systematically.
skilled
It's what I
buying
like about you.
units, you're great with
Thanks.
people, and you're quite the poker player.
Sometimes.
I had no
Let me
clue.
tell you.
Wow.
Back when I was down in San Diego doing auctions, and I had people flipping coins and running games against the auctioneer, you would always step up and you would always pay for the good unit, and you would piss all these other guys off because you are, you're a lone wolf. You're not playing with these cats. You're feeding your own family, and you've always been proud to do that. And I'm proud to call you a friend.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. But honestly, it had nothing to do with the auctioneer. Here's my way of looking, and I tell other auction buyers. I had one of the biggest stores. I have to bankroll. And once you start flipping with a bunch of people on a bunch of different... Whoa, that's the dogs upstairs.
Wow.
Once you start flipping with a bunch of different people in different units, and this is a good lesson for people out there in the business, you kind of take away your knowledge, your buying power, your retail power, and now it's all up to a coin flip if you get lucky or not. So I just rather, if I see something I like, I just buy it, and if I have to pay $4,000 instead of flipping at $2,500, I'd much rather do that.
I've seen a lot of buyers throughout the decades try to figure out ways to, be partners with other buyers and suppress the bids, and
Sure.
that always works until it doesn't work. And it always works great until somebody has a misunderstanding, or there's a really sweet deal out there, and one of the partners doesn't like what's happening. That usually busts that stuff up.
Well, they had a big co-op when I first got into business in San Diego with 4 buyers, and the 4 biggest
Yes.
buyers got together. We're doing it together until they started not being the most honest sometimes. But anyway, different story.
I was at a place, and I heard you say to them, you said something like, once you start playing, something like, if you start paying my bills or something like that, and you let them know you weren't going to play their way because they're not paying your bills.
Something like that. I probably said something like that.
So something like that.
But here, I want to do a follow-up questions, especially for all the young people and maybe middle-aged people even that are kind of stuck. In America, we're stuck in that hustle and grind sometimes where we forget about things. So when you had the aneurysm, and basically, like you said, 4% chance of dying, Did that change the way you were thinking about life, business, marriage? I mean, all that stuff in general,
Great question.
It did.
including God, even, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
it was actually a 4% chance to survive. So it's a little different. And
No,
yeah,
that's what I meant. Yeah, 4% chance.
I get it. I think it has given me a brand new attitude on things. I don't take things so serious, and I realize that life's pretty short, and you've got to treat people pretty decent, because you know,
And I noticed
karma's and if you want to act a certain way and you're getting away with it, that's great. I just want to treat everybody. I want to treat everybody fair and nice, and if you give me respect, I want to give it back to you. And
one thing you have done is you put God more center in your life, and you're more thankful.
always give the glory to God.
Give the
for
glory
sure.
to God.
Yeah.
Amen.
That's a good one. Here's another one question. This is more show related. You and Dave Hester got in a little scuffle. you might remember. That was also post-aneurysm, which was kind of scary.
Yeah.
There's people out there say that was only staged for the show. I mean, I know obviously it's different, but what do you have to say to those people?
I don't care what those people think. It was unfortunate that Dave and I got to that point. It was like Dave's last show, his last contract. I think he was desperate to get attention, and when he basically said that I was playing favoritisms to you, and Mary missed a bid. Well, Mary never missed a bid. Dave Hester was talking to Mary, got our attention away from the auction. You bought it, and then when she realized she didn't
missed
get
her
it,
bid,
then Dave started throwing all this stuff in the air.
Didn't you bid?
And I'm not going to have somebody come to my auction and tell me that I'm being unethical or doing collusion and favoritism with 5 cameras around. It's not going to happen. So I just wanted Dave to leave, and Dave didn't want to leave. So we ended up getting into one of those things, and
I was worried about him because he just had his aneurysm.
and when Laura was knocking the piss out of Dave, I'm thinking, because I've got my thumb in Dave's eye, he's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. I just got him. And
I was just trying to get him
and
on
I'm thinking to
him.
myself, is Laura's beating the shit out of him because he deserved it from a year earlier, disrespected her at the auction. I'm thinking to myself, if I wasn't holding him, he'd probably hit my wife, and within 3 minutes he hit my wife, and
yeah.
so we popped him back, and
the fight was real.
It was real.
100% real.
And since then, we've actually seen Dave at auction.
yeah, he
and
buys. Dave, he does good.
He
And,
apologized.
That was my next follow-up question. So do you guys hate each other now, or
no, I don't hate anybody.
No.
what's your relationship with Dave like now?
There is no relationship with Dave. I mean, there was probably a time when I would talk to Dave once or twice a week, and I haven't talked to Dave like that in, since then, and that's
They're
been
civil
a few
with
years.
each other. He comes to auction. He actually spends, quite a bit of money.
He
with
spends
us.
good money, and my all my auctioneers know to take his money and to take his bid. And
He's respectful.
He's
and
respectful.
He extended his hand. He finally took my hand, when I extended it to say, I'm sorry about all this. He did. He came up and shook my hand and said, I'm sorry for what I put you guys through because of what I just went through. He had a stroke. He said it changed his whole perspective on life. And, truthfully, I don't hold any grudges, and I know you don't either.
he's not my friend.
Yeah, okay. He's not your friend, but he's not your enemy either.
There
That's
you
right.
go.
And part of the aneurysm that you went through, do you think that affected a little bit the way you look at that now? It's like
It might have softened me up a little bit.
it's softening. And I think that's a good attitude to have because sometimes it's just better. It's like, okay, well, screw that person, but I'm not going to waste negative energy because now you're just hurting yourself, right?
Yeah,
That's right.
people in life should look forward, and you should always chase stuff in front of you, not stuff on your sides or behind you. You shouldn't fight any of those battles behind you because that is not what life's about. Life's about going forward.
And
life's
forgiving.
about forgiving and
Yeah.
moving on.
Amen.
And you turn the other cheek, and if you get that pop, then
You go
one
on.
shame on you, 2 times shame on me, and never let it happen a third time.
But you look for the next day. And also, just for the record, I want to say, because if people watch, they see me film with Dave, obviously, sometimes. Dave is a friend of mine. I'm on good terms with him. You guys know that. I know that. So I try to get along with everybody in the business
You
also.
do.
I'll
Very
never
respectful.
forgive you for that.
No, very respectful. Yeah.
Well, I buy a lot from American auctioneers, and
That's
Dave has an
true.
auction house too.
All
I buy
right,
from
All right, you're forgiven.
You
all right,
really
all right,
do.
all right.
You really do.
So I like just like you, I try not to focus on negative. And trust me, I'm a person that can sometimes get really mad about stuff. Oh, so there's a lot of people out there. They say you guys are just actors.
Right.
Storage Wars is real. It's not real. It doesn't happen. It's all fake. And if you go to storages that are really being sold at auction, it's just a pile of junk usually. What do you guys have to say to that?
I don't know. You know, we've sold $2 million worth of units last year, and most of the people that we sell to are resell, so they don't pay the sales tax, which means they're dealers, right?
Legitimate
And
buyers.
so we sell to dealers over and over and over again, and we've had some of the same dealers for 20 or 25 years. So I don't care what you say. If you think it's all junk in there, then just don't do it. But if you think it might be, you know, every once in a while somebody stores something super nice, then, you know, you should subscribe to some of the sites that are out there. You should check out every lien auction that's in your area, and you should just see what's going on, because every once in a while something special comes up.
These are
And if
real
you're not
lien
there,
units.
if you're not there, you're
Real
not going to
money.
get it. And the online stuff makes it very convenient to subscribe to lots of areas and lots of auctions, and you can put a lot of eyeballs on a lot of auctions, and that's what we suggest to do.
And also, let me add on just as a follow-up question, since I'm in the industry. If you think this stuff is fake, you obviously don't watch our YouTube channel. Because if you think that we stage all these units just to make a video, you're nuts. So just watch our channel. Some of the stuff we buy, we go through units all the time. You know, we have this new season, we got crazy new buyers, Dusty. I mean, he drives me crazy, but he's a very knowledgeable buyer,
He's
very
pretty
successful.
knowledgeable.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I like Dusty. I like you too.
Not afraid to get dirty.
Yeah, if you're out there and you want to figure out how to buy and sell this stuff in the right way, and you want to make less mistakes, rather than just go trial by fire, you should subscribe to Renee's YouTube channel. He'll show you lots of tricks of the trade.
You get some buyer education.
And it
auction
just takes one little
education.
nugget to save yourself $1,000.
You can learn so
put
much.
that money in your pocket.
And you
instead
guys
of-
got lots of subscribers.
We do. We're about to hit 171,000. Like, the community is just
Wow.
growing and growing and better and better.
Lots of buyers,
Congratulations.
lots of sellers.
Yes.
A lot of entrepreneurs out there. And,
Yep, and a big hello to Casey out there.
yeah.
You know, I know we just got done filming a new season of Storage Wars. Do you guys want to tell the audience? Do you know when it's coming on again?
Like mid-October?
Mid-October. It's hopefully going to be on a Tuesday night, and hopefully it'll be 9/8 Central on the A&E network.
Like
and
around
just
the 13th or
you
so?
watch all of our social media feeds, and as soon as we know the date, we're going to share it with everybody.
Awesome.
Yes, we filmed 15 new episodes, so
There should be about 25 or 30 episodes in the can for everybody to enjoy. And hopefully if everybody jumps in there and tells a friend and tunes in, hopefully we'll get to film another season or two. That'd be great. We want to do this for 20 years, and we're only in it like 12 or 13 now. So we've got another 7 years worth of filming left in us, at least, and we want to fill it up with
Love
more
it.
Storage Wars. We would like to have at least 250 more Storage Wars. We'd like to make it to show 600. We'd like to do 600 Storage Wars episodes.
Well,
You do whatever you
there's
want.
lots of
I want to
treasures
do
to be
600
found.
Storage Wars
Okay.
episodes, and that's what I intend
want.
to do.
I love that.
Well, then hang with me, baby.
Hey, there's
Don't
treasures
act like
to be
you don't
found.
want to do it.
There's our crazy characters. They've got all the stuff going on. They got the education.
You never
and
know what's in the
you
box,
never know
and there's
what's in the
always a
box.
supply of storage units.
Awesome.
Right on.
And then, can you guys tell us? Are you allowed to tell us some of the characters coming back, or who can we expect to see?
Yeah,
I can tell you that Renee, that crazy cat's going to be back in, and his wife Casey and his daughter Tatiana. They're all going to be in there.
we
Great
got
people.
Brandy's on.
Brandy's
and,
all over this thing. I know. And
Daryl.
and Daryl
The
and
Oh,
Dusty,
yeah.
Dusty,
That's
our new
super.
guy, and Barry.
Yes, and Lisa comes in and out.
and Lisa's funny.
Yeah,
She's a funny,
been buying
quirky
stuff.
little gal. I like
Ivy
her.
And Pops.
Ivy and Pops,
Isaiah.
his son, and
Wow,
his
Kenny.
other son Isaiah and Kenny.
Wow, we're rolling.
We've
through
got a
it.
lot of people. I didn't
Dusty.
realize there were so
And
many
Dusty,
people. And Dusty.
yes.
Dusty's a good
Yeah.
guy. Dusty's a competitor.
And Dan and Laura.
And Dan and Laura. Okay, cool. So let me ask you another question about the business in general. What's the most expensive unit you ever sold? Like not like the moving sales, but like an actual storage unit.
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably it was 28,000.
28,000?
28,000. It was a car.
It was a car. Okay, most expensive storage unit, not a car. Go.
We sold a bunch of Alberto Vargas stuff, and it was like 5 vaults, and that stuff was worth a couple million
That
bucks.
was worth a lot, but you didn't sell it for a lot.
Yeah, no, I want to know, like, you go to a facility, you pull that 10 by 30, and you're like, okay, it's go time.
You know, we just sold 4 boxes of sterling for $12,000, and that was pretty good,
I
right?
think the most expensive.
Sir,
unit
listen to the
itself-
instructions that are coming out of my mouth.
Yes.
No vault sales. I want a storage
Yes.
unit, 10 by 20. You open the door.
That's the one. that I remember you selling, and it opened up and it just looked like a lot of household stuff, and you sold it for like 17,000. I just remember the commission was really big and getting in there and counting. And then when he came back in, he was 1,000 short and pulled it out of the next pocket. It was like a big commission that day.
And what could you see where people were going crazy?
Yeah, there was 2 toolboxes in there, and they were red. And because there was so much stuff around, instantly everybody thought Snap-on, and then a compressor, and then everything was, shrink wrapped.
It's easy to take a Snap-on toolbox full of tools, and it's easy for somebody to put over 100 grand worth of tools in one of these boxes.
Seen it, done it.
Yeah.
The opening bid was $6,000. I remember that, and I looked at you like, what, 6,000 or 600? He goes, 6,000. And I looked back at the unit and looked at you, and you just rolled it.
I think the most expensive unit, though, it was like $28,000. We sold it to Durali, right? It was
Well, that was a car.
So what? It was in a unit.
Absolutely.
And then, do we know, did the guy do good at the 17,000? Have you guys ever heard anything? Or?
Yes, and he said that not only were there the two of the toolboxes, there was another one that fit across the whole back, and they were loaded with tools.
And was it Snap-on?
So it was Snap-on.
Oh wow! So yeah, he scored.
He really did good. He said he had about $100,000 worth of stuff, and and I wasn't sure, but since doing the research and talking to folks like you that are really selling this stuff daily and stuff, he really did. He really had a great bounty.
Snap-on is great on eBay. We put all on Snap-on, Mac, Matco. Another thing, so and I'm just asking questions and I'll see what pops out. If nothing pops in, just say nothing pops in. But have you guys ever opened up a unit and it was just such weird stuff? You're like, what is going on?
Yes, and the weird smell, and I thought, oh God, what's going on?
One time we opened up one and it was totally black with mold. It was molded all the way
All
through.
the
It
way
looked
through.
like
Like
it
a
looked like one of
tree
those
roof.
movies, like a horror movie or
haunted
something.
horror movie.
And I don't
Yeah.
think it sold. I don't think it
No.
sold, but it was totally black
It
mold.
was
If
black.
you ever open up a unit and it's full of mold, just don't buy it because
It like grew through the whole thing.
yeah, I mean, if you do, you got to go in there and kill the mold first.
Yeah.
You have to make arrangements with the facility to do the right thing.
Yeah.
It's just like if you get one and it's full of cockroaches, you don't want to take that stuff and put it in your garage because you'll have cockroaches all over the place. But if you can kill them while they're in that unit and you can work out a little extra time with the manager, that is a good thing. And so that's my advice.
Wow.
Don't take cockroaches home or mice.
You just don't bid on that stuff.
So I give you one really quick. I'm going to throw in because this video is obviously going to get a lot of views. But Mark Converse actually bought it. The guy had 2 units. We all were excited about it right before I moved to Las Vegas. It was the author of Clifford the Big Red Dog. You guys know him?
Oh yes.
So one was just household. It didn't really look like he had his artwork in and stuff. The second one was a 10 by 30. It literally was all S&M equipment. I swear I've never seen anything like it. It was cages. It was cages, wheels, stretchers. He had whips and mouthpieces, like literally hundreds of them.
Who would have known Clifford the Big Red Dog was so kinky?
Nobody wanted to buy the unit, so he had it the first week on the swap. He basically, his whole booth, 130 tables, was like S&M stuff.
Wow.
He barely sold anything. Next week, the entire city that was into that was there, and he did like $40,000 of the unit. $2,200 unit.
That's a score.
That's pretty funny.
That's a
But I'm
sexy
sure he
score.
didn't even know all that stuff was
Oh no, we knew. As
no,
soon as
I'm sure he didn't even know.
Yeah.
I mean, for legal reasons, he probably didn't even.
it's not illegal. He actually sold all the S&M stuff to a Hollywood producer.
Oh,
He
sure.
delivered it. And so here's the next kicker, okay? Because none of us knew none of this stuff. I mean, trust me, if there comes a unit right now full of that stuff, I'm buying it. Because I've seen how much money that stuff is. And the people that are into it, it was all new. The people that are into it, they're not afraid to spend the money, you know?
Exactly.
So the cages, they were actually made by a special designer. He had name tags on that and stuff. They were like $5,000, $6,000 a piece and stuff.
Wow.
Cages.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's a crazy story for you guys that I shared that on
No,
my
that's
phone.
fun. Thank you for sharing.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't remember who the auctioneer was. You guys might even be the one selling it. So when you
Wow. Wow. See, I had no idea what I was looking at. I was just so innocent then.
yeah, right. It definitely wasn't you, Laura. Okay, I would remember that.
Right.
She would remember that.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that chair that
Yes.
Yeah, babe, I do. Doesn't matter.
Anyway, so I think we covered a lot of stuff. Is there anything you guys want to inject? Any kind of questions we should?
Just want to say thanks for tuning in to Storage Wars. We appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate you telling a friend. And as soon as we get the new season out, if everybody will tell everybody, we'll get to keep doing this for
Yes.
another 7 or 8 years.
Thank
That'd
you,
be
fans and friends, for tuning in and giving us all the love. And keeping us on the air, because it's just been a wonderful run.
And thanks for subscribing to both of our sites, AmericanAuctioneers.com and StorageAuctions.net, the only one on
Hey,
the network.
Renee, Bargain Hunters, thank you for putting us on your channel.
And maybe we can do this. So we have a lot of people watching this. If we get 20 or 30 really good questions, what you fans really want to know, maybe we'll do a part 2 of those and we'll do a follow-up questions.
Love
That'd be
it.
great. We'd do that anytime.
Would love
if
to.
you have questions, we're like an open book. We'll answer whatever we can.
Awesome, guys. Dan and Laura Dotson, American Auctioneers, StorageAuctions.net.
And don't forget to pay the lady.
And don't forget to pay the lady. Thanks for watching, guys.